Hit it.
Meet me at the intersection. It's time to make a great connection. Faith, fun, and family meet. So come on in and take a seat at Sundays at the intersection. Woo!
Welcome to Sundays at the Intersection. We're delighted to be spending this time with you. We're going to be learning about Jesus' parables. So take a look and enjoy.
What's on the menu? Hey, what's up?
You were looking for a book to read?
Yeah.
And I found a good one.
Bad Girls of the Bible. Yeah. I don't know, girl. This doesn't sound very good.
What do you mean? I read it. It's awesome.
Well, first of all, look at it. I mean, it's green.
So?
Ew. Okay, and then look at the eyes. Ooh, makeup eyes. Is it a weird romance novel? I don't know.
It's super interesting. It's about some cool women in the Bible.
Yeah, but they're bad. Why do I want to learn about them?
Oh,
They're bad.
hey girl, I came to get the book since you said you didn't want it.
Maybe maybe I was.
Maybe you what?
Maybe I was. Maybe I was.
Wrong, Lisa?
Okay. Mate. But what's inside of this? It's amazing. It's got stories of like Rahab and Delilah and just a whole different view of who they were. And man, I did the wrong thing by judging what was on the inside by this outside. It's way, way better.
Well, that's a great lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Because that's actually what today's parable is about.
Yeah.
So let's talk about
the Good Samaritan.
The main course. So today we're going to talk about the Good Samaritan. It's found in Luke 10, verses 25 through 37.
Woo!
There it is. I knew she'd make some noise in a minute.
I love it. I held it in as long as I could.
I was waiting for you to whoop it up when I first said the Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
Well, this is probably a familiar parable to you,
Yeah.
but we want to make sure that you're aware of the twists in the parable.
And there's some good ones.
Yes, there are. So just like the message that you saw in the skit, kind of the message you're going to see in this parable is about not judging a book by its cover. So Lisa, take it away. Tell us about the Good Samaritan.
I will. It's a very simple story. There are 4 characters. You have a man, a priest, a Levite, and a Samaritan. Okay? Yes.
Interesting already.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like the beginning of a joke.
I know.
A man, a priest, a Levite, and a Samaritan.
I was waiting. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Anyway, sorry. No joke, though. All right. So the man is walking by himself on the road, and unfortunately, some robbers come and they beat him up and they leave him there, and he's really hurt. Mm-hmm. So soon, a priest comes by, sees him, goes to the other side of the street away from him, and goes. Then a Levite comes along and sees him and goes to the other side of the street and leaves him be too. Then a Samaritan comes, sees him, puts some bandages on his wounds, puts him onto his horse or donkey, whatever he had, brings him to the town and pays for as long as the man needs until he's healthy and well. And so that's it's great. So it seems like a very simple story.
What's the big deal?
Of course it's, of course you should be like the Samaritan. Very simple story, right? That's what parables are.
Yeah. Is there what's so
the
unique
twist?
About this one?
The twists, are in the details. So let's get into the details. So it's important for us to put ourselves back in the time of Jesus and gain a little bit more information so that we can see how much more powerful the story is during that time. Okay. So first of all, this parable was told in response to a man's question to Jesus when he asked, "Who is my neighbor?" I did not know that. At first, I think maybe I just always think he starts these he just decides to tell a story once upon a time, but no, this was in response to a question, who was my neighbor? So clearly the person asking, if you read a couple verses before, talks about he had already heard Jesus' new commandment, love your neighbor as yourself, and so he went a step further and said, who is my neighbor? Jesus was answering this by using this story.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right.
Okay.
So let's look at some more details about this. Okay. So you look at the priest and the Levite, the people who ignored the hurt man and crossed the road, in fact, so they could get away from him. Priests and Levites were the tippy top of the Jewish society. Okay. They were the most reputable. They had a great reputation and status. Okay. They were chosen by God to be the priests, the Levites were. And so, you would think that people who were set apart to bring the news of God and the message of God to the people, they would be the ones showing mercy. And yet they didn't. Okay, so that was a huge part of the story. That's the twist. They would be like, oh, a priest and a Levite, of course, are going to do the right thing.
Yeah. So this would be an unexpected part of the
part. They were like,
when Jesus was telling this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're like, so already the people are probably like, well, this story isn't going how it's going. Now, here's the thing. When Jesus chose the Samaritan to be the hero, that is the biggest twist of all. In fact, I don't doubt that some people would have been shocked, surprised, and angry that he made the Samaritans the hero, because Samaritans and the Jews hated each other. It reminds me of that thing in The Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey, where I hate, loathe entirely.
Okay, so they didn't like each other.
No, not at all. In fact, just for centuries, they didn't like each other at all. And there was a history of violence, so it was very logical that if you were a Jewish person, on the road and saw a Samaritan coming, you might even be afraid that your life would be threatened, okay? There was that bad a history, yes.
Okay.
So for
Jesus
to pick a Samaritan to be showing an example of this is your neighbor, this is who you love as yourself, broke all the rules. And it was so amazing when he said that. Basically, he's saying your neighborhood is bigger than you think it needs to be. Your neighbors are more than who you need to be. And it's just
left you speechless.
Yeah, it did, because I think about who do we assume might hurt us? Who do we assume that they're not going to do the right thing? They're going to make the bad decision. I'm ashamed to say that I make assumptions based on what I see all the time. And it goes beyond having good judgment. We need to have good judgment and be careful. And I just have to just think about this story and think, my goodness, there are heroes and people who are trying to show God's love, and I need to give them a chance.
Love it. So don't judge a book by its cover.
Don't do it.
Give people room to grow and to love and expand your neighborhood. I love it.
Yes.
So now you all know a little bit more about
the Good Samaritan.
Dessert.
Yum. Hit it. Meet me at the intersection. It's time to make a great connection. Faith, fun, and family meet. So come on in and take a seat at Sundays at the intersection. Woo!